Thank you to charnelfire at Fiverr, Fiverr.com for making the new animated logo. I really like it. I couldn't have done this logo if I had, Jesus, man. Yeah, I can't do stuff like that. So if you guys are looking for a great logo, go to Fiverr.com, and there's thousands and thousands of people who do that sort of thing for a living. So it's very cheap, but the quality is extremely high, and don't forget to leave them a tip if you do use their service, because if you're like me, a digital dinosaur, it would take you months and months and months to even begin to understand how to do what they do. That being said, let's get into today's video. Thank you for tuning into the Force Production Powerlifting channel. My name is Lawrence Malcheff, and today I have a very serious video about nutrition. I want to talk to you about the dangers of tilapia. In the last 3 weeks, I've eaten a lot of tilapia because I'm getting away from red meat and chicken until I can find a superior, reputable source for this type of animal flesh production. The world is a dangerous place to eat. It's dangerous. Very few companies out there, fast food companies, candy companies, they don't give a shit about you or me. We're a consumer society. They're producing food in mass amounts because we eat in mass amounts. And to keep costs low, they use cheap ingredients to make their food. If you're a power lifter, here's what you need to do. And tell me which one of these doesn't belong. Forgive me, I wrote a list, and I'm going to read from the list. Here's what you need to do to be the best power lifter that you can be. Sleep well. Train with all your heart. Never miss a day. Eat a wide variety of superior food to keep your body running clean and on all cylinders. Keep your stress low outside of the gym. Do not drink alcohol, because if you're eating a superior diet, your gut flora is thriving and keeping you well. So do not dump alcohol in it, the one thing that kills bacteria, into your gut, so that all the food, all this great food you spent money on, doesn't go to waste when you need it most, during digestion. And last, eat pig and chicken shit and a wide variety of non-essential hormones. Which one doesn't belong? Could it be the pig and chicken shit? Anyway, a friend of mine out in Las Vegas, my buddy Nick Catuzos, brought something up in our conversation about tilapia. He said it's probably most unsafe fish that you can eat because it's farm raised on a feed of cheap cheap feed. What kind of feed are you providing these fish? What is their nutrition? And because tilapia is not raised in America, it comes from all over the world. It's a profitable fish. It's a cheap fish, and let's face it, our standards for the production of animal flesh. Okay, come on. Now, take the intrusive FDA away from all these other countries that are producing these fish, which, you know, tilapia isn't caught in the wild. You have to farm it and to raise it and to produce it in the mass amounts that we're seeing it produced in. They're using cheap ingredients. They're making a huge profit off of it because they're feeding the fish the cheapest stuff that you can possibly buy, which is which is the shit of other animals. So you're trying to tell me that you're going to do all this stuff right? You're going to obsess about your total. You're going to obsess about eating correctly. You're going to profess yourself as a fit individual, as someone who knows how to eat correctly, knows how to train correctly, but yet you're going to, after all of that, after painting this picture of yourself, you're going to eat the worst food possibly imaginable. And not all tilapia farms feed their fish that horrendous diet of the feces of other animals. But there are so many people, so many companies out there doing so amidst the companies that are being responsible, that I just can't roll the dice on it. I've really grown a conscience about how I feed this body. Because right now, today, I'm well. I'm the strongest I've ever been in my life. And I'm 45. Strongest I've ever been. I've always been a bigger guy. And sometimes, and for a decade or so, I was just astonishingly unfit and obese. But systems, this complex system here, it wants to get to its original state. And in this sense, I mean, my body is telling me it wants to be back in the state it was when I was around 8 or 9 years old, which was a metabolism that burned off fat, that burned off sugar, that grew like a weed. It wants to be back to its original form. And my conscience is eating away at me about this horrible food that we have out there, guys. It's horrible. And you and I have a brain in our heads. A year from now, I hope that my passion for learning how to feed myself correctly is 1,000 times better than it is today. And today, it's not doing so bad. I'm down 32 pounds of pure body fat with 0 strength loss, and I'm growing muscle. And I'm conditioning that muscle for the production of force, and I will be demonstrating that force that I can produce on Friday. I'm nearly vegan. Nearly vegan. And I just may have to go vegan if I can't find a company out there that is producing quality animal flesh for me to consume. That's another video that I'm working on. Is I want to find who the companies are that are producing the most top quality, the most hormone-free chicken, the most hormone-free beef that I can put my hands on. Because it's all about focusing on the wrong. You want things to be right, then you focus on the wrong. Don't focus on the right, focus on the wrong. And at the end of the month, I have a great video coming up where I've been graphing my fat loss. And you guys are going to be quite surprised when I compare last month's graph to this month's graph. So thank you for tuning in. Please feed yourself correctly. If you're doing everything else correctly in your training, then by all means, please take an interest, a serious interest into feeding yourself correctly. Just like when you're in the squat rack or on the bench or on the deadlift, you do things that prevent you from getting destroyed. Why should our food be any different? Just a thought. Thank you for tuning in to the Force Production Powerlifting channel. My name is Lawrence Malcheff. See you guys next time.